jog on!
We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
Oh, Megan. We're only getting started.
Good evening, I'm Megan Wolf.
And I'm Jeremy Dawes. Our main headlines tonight.
Daddy, it's starting!
That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News.
Hi, David, I have a call for you. I'm just putting it through. All right, mate. Dave here. Listen, I know you've only come in to clean up the place, but I've got a bit caught up, so you're going to have to run the news tonight. Now, don't worry, it's not hard, and I'm going to stay on the phone and help you. First, I'm going to give you a quick tour of the broadcast room, so if you're not doing it already, look forwards towards all those screens. Right, look up at the top. That coloured bar is your audience. You want to keep the viewers going up and not down. Underneath that, you've got the screens. The one on the right is the broadcast screen. That's what the viewers are seeing at home. It's only a couple of seconds behind the master screen there in the middle. That's the one you control. Now, the four small screens on the left show the different signals coming from the studio, and you can choose between them using the numbered buttons on the vision mixer at the bottom left. Don't worry, I'll talk you through it and you'll pick it up in no time. Now, have a look to your left. These plugs control everything in the studio. I've left them set up for you, so provided you haven't fiddled with them, all you have to do now is throw the master trip switch and we're in business. Once you've got the power on, face the front again. You can see on the broadcast screen that we're in the end titles for the show before us. Fortunately, they go on for fucking ages, so there's plenty of time for me to explain... Oh, right, okay, they're over, so we haven't got long now till the broadcast. Right, quickly, mate, look down under the desk. You can see a load of videotapes on the left. They're your adverts. Pick any three and load them into the machines on the right. When you've done that, look up to the front again.
Taking 4 old ladies from East Grinstead. That's followed at 8 p.m. by award-winning documentary series The Shape of Now, which tonight...
Right, won't be long now till the signal starts coming through from the station. Stay on your toes. All the bigwigs are in tonight because of the election, so we better not make any mistakes.
Relax with multiple award-winning movie The Freedom...
When you get the signal, select screen 1 with the vision mixer and we're ready to go.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know, seafood makes me come out in pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. It's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist, going in 5, 4.
But now, it's time to join Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight.
Okay, we're all good. Next is going to be the throw to the news titles on screen 2. There'll be a countdown, but I'll count you in as well. Just relax, mate. It's all gravy.
Buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market. Top chat. Sports fans everywhere celebrate as popular footballer Johnny Hamsleeves wins Sports Personality of the Year. And a spoonful of sugar. Megan will be chatting with movie star Lawrence Blunderclatch about his new movie, The Medicated. And, of course, we'll be going live to Advance headquarters to hear what the leaders of this fledgling party have to say on their historic...
Right, button
That's
2
all coming up on
in
tonight.
3,
National
2,
Nightly News.
1. Lovely, mate. next thing is to throw back to Jeremy with button 1 when that globe in the middle shrinks down and vanishes. Here it comes. Switch to screen 1. Lovely, mate.
But first, the votes are in, and it's a decisive win for Advance.
We often get a bit of interference around this time, mate. Keep your eye on the machine at the bottom right. Use that slider that's flashing, or your scroll wheel to move the wave up and down, keeping the green bit in the white bit.
But critics have accused him of a severe lack of actual policies and of being deliberately vague. The opposition parties have all conceded defeat to Advance's overwhelming mandate, but have yet to appear publicly. However, former Home Secretary
Right,
Geoffrey
it's going
Russell
well.
has
All you've got to do
indicated
now
that
is
he
play the
can-
advert at the end of the segment. Make sure you don't play it too early or we'll all get fired. Now, the clock at the top is counting you down to the advert. When it reaches 0, press one of the 3 play ad buttons over there at the bottom right. I normally play the first one at the first break and so on, but you can play them in any order you want. I'll count you into it as well, but keep your eye on the clock.
To hear the co-leader's acceptance.
And 3, 2, 1, advert.
1 minute back, everybody.
Jeremy, I need you to fill after the ads.
What? Why?
Wanker Snatch is running late.
Oh, I thought I'd ask him about the election.
Personally, I wouldn't try to confuse him with any big words.
That's the same policy we use with you.
I thought that was our little secret.
That's all right, he doesn't remember anything I tell him.
I'm deeply uncomfortable with your burgeoning friendship.
Love you too.
Yeah.
Wicked, we've made it to the first ad break. You're doing great, mate. But this is where it starts getting a bit trickier. This next sequence is what we call a multicam sequence, because you're going to be cutting between multiple cameras to keep things interesting. A lot of it's down to personal taste, but here's 3 good rules of thumb. 1. Try and keep the shot on whoever is doing the talking. 2. Don't stay on the same shot for too long, 10 seconds at the most. So if you're on the person who's talking, try and throw in the odd reaction shot or pull out to the wide shot for a bit just to keep it interesting. 3. Don't stay on reaction shots for too long. A couple of seconds is usually enough. Then the audience want to see who's doing the talking, yeah? Stick to these rules and you'll be fine. It's not as complicated as it sounds. You've seen programs on television, haven't you? Make it look like those. Might as well get screen 1 selected now. No need to wait for the broadcast to start. Try and stay ahead, mate.
Isn't it time your family
We're coming back from the break.
And hey,
Quiet
come
in the
drive
studio.
through. You've got a car park
Thank you so much. For...
on the tape.
10 seconds, everybody. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later, we'll be hearing from shock election winners Advance. But first,
Get
our
ready to
very
go to
own
Megan on
reporter,
screen
Megan
4.
Wolf is here with a star of both stage and screen. Megan?
Thank you, Jeremy. Megan Wolf, culture correspondent. And today I have a guest who starred in everything from Shakespeare
Right,
to the
go to
Shopbot
Blunderclatch
films
on screen
and
3
very
when she
excited
says
to
his
be joined
name.
today by none other than Lawrence Blunderclatch. Thank you so much for coming on.
Oh, my dear, I do hope you believe me when I tell you that being with you here today is among
Switch to
the
2 for the wide now.
May I say having you here with us is among ours.
Right, now just try and stay on whoever's talking.
Latest movie, which is called The Medicated.
The medicated, yes.
Wow, what was that like?
Well, as I said to Peter at the Wrap, that's Peter Jensen, the director. Do you know
Give us a
that?
look at Megan's
He's a
reaction.
wonderful chap. He really is.
Lovely,
I've
now
worked
back
with
to
him on
Thunder
several
Twat.
movies, all terribly successful. I said to Peter, what a wild ride this has been. And do you know what, Megan? I really meant that.
Wow, that is fantastic. And am I right in saying that the character you play in this movie is quite an academic one?
Absolutely right. A scientist.
Was that a challenge at all?
What exactly are you implying? But seriously, yes, you're right. It was a complete departure from my last starring role when I played Sergeant Brock Rockman in Bullet Man. You'll remember that that was the true story of one soldier's fight for a love that surpasses all others. A love, of course, for freedom. I think it's grossed over $1 billion, but Honestly, who's counting?
It's a role that saw you scoop 2 Best Actor awards, if I remember correctly.
It's so sweet of you to mention it, but I really am not in it for the awards, although those 3 little statues do take pride of place on my mantelpiece.
With all the others, I'm sure. So, if you're not doing it for the awards, what is it then that drives you?
Oh, that is a beautiful question, Megan, and not easy to answer. Like you, I'm afraid. Cut me, and
Been on that shot a bit long.
And often, that's how it feels, doesn't it? Doesn't it? Bleeding, giving, suffering for one's audience. I suppose in the end, I do it for the difference it makes. I do it for the people that I inspire, the little people. But most of all, I think I do it for the positive change that I can bring about in the world.
And today, of course, we're in for some real change, it looks like, in the coming few months. What do you make of this historic election result?
Oh, well. Well, now you're asking. Historic election result. Indeed. Historic is the word. Well, it's difficult, isn't it? Very difficult. But I think I've always been quite clear that when it comes to politics, that one should always strive to not fuck things up.
Shit, he swore. Oh, well, don't worry, he won't do it again.
Sorry, I said fuck.
Shit, he did it again. Okay, don't panic. I'll explain how to deal with swearing at the break.
Medicated, which opens next week.
Right, they've swapped the shot of Jeremy on screen 1 for a VT of the movie clip. You'll get a countdown on the screen, but I'll just let Megan cue you in.
My character, Dr. Lance Hemlock, is faced with a decision that could affect humanity's very survival.
Exciting stuff. Let's take a look.
Cool, looks like Blunderclatch is losing it in the studio, but we ain't got time for that. There's more interference coming. It's a bit trickier this time, mate. Use that little flashing joystick to the left of the knob, or hold down your middle mouse or Alt on your keyboard, and as the frequency changes, match it to the white bit by dragging right.
You think I don't know that?
Now we're going to squash the frequency back by dragging left.
Nolans, we mustn't. Think of Carol.
That's Dr. Lance to you, Miss Flanagan.
Jubbly, mate.
For you, baby.
Next, we're going to change the amplitude. Same as last time. Little joystick or hold Alt or middle mouse, and this time push upwards.
You told me, but I didn't listen.
Doctor.
I'm drowning, Lance, you said.
You need to see this.
No, it's all
Right, now let's match it back by going downwards.
The virus. The sterility. This formula. This is the key.
We could stop it all.
Yes!
Bloody perfect, mate.
Oh! We have to ask ourselves.
At the end of the clip, you'll want to play another ad. Remember to use the clock at the top to count you in. Right, I guess I better explain how to deal with bleeping out swear words. As you've probably noticed, the broadcast screen, here, is about 2 seconds behind the master screen, here. When someone says a naughty word, the bleep button lights up, like this. 2 seconds later, you'll hear that swear word going out on the broadcast, and you need to hold down the bleep button, or the spacebar on your keyboard, for as long as the swear word lasts. It can take a bit of practice getting used to hearing 2 things at once. Just stay calm, and you'll get it. And if you can't tell when to bleep, just above the button, you'll literally be able to see the sound scrolling by. All you got to do is hold it down while the red bit is over the red line. Simple. Of course, if you do it by eye, you'll have to take your eye off the screens. That's why real professionals do it by ear. Most people like to have the volume of the broadcast screen a little bit below the master screen. Let's set it now. As you turn it up, you'll hear the advert getting louder.
And
Good. You're set to start censoring. Like I say, it takes a little practice, but I'll try and help you through it, and soon we'll have you bleeping like a pro. Remember, button lights up, count 1, 2, and hold it down.
absolutely...
Remember to select screen 1 now that you've got the feed. Don't wait for the broadcast to go live. That's too late. You can use the number buttons on your keyboard, 1 to 4.
Running the country. Seriously?
We've had worse. 5, 4, 3...
Welcome back. And I'm told we can now go live to Advance headquarters where the two leaders, Peter Clement and Julia Salisbury, are about to make their acceptance address.
Cut to the outside broadcast. Oh, shit,
for it,
he's
Pat.
pissed. Get ready to bleed.
Well, thank you all for coming, and, well, where do I start? What a day.
They said we couldn't do
They
it.
certainly did.
They used every dirty, low-down, lying southern bastard trick they had against us. But you, the people, you saw right through their shite.
I'm sorry about the language there.
Sorry about that. I've had a couple of celebratory pints. Makes me coarser than a granny's fanny.
Memorably put.
Nailed it.
But to be honest, who can blame Peter for celebrating? Throughout the campaign, you've heard us say that Advance are not a political party. A party is what you have when things are going well. When the country is suffering, you don't need a party. You need a team. A team that can change things. But today is day one of a new future.
10-second
a better, fairer future. So perhaps we should all be celebrating.
Except for the rich. For them, the party's over. They shouldn't be celebrating. They should be putting their shitting pants on and opening their dusty checkbooks.
Again, colourfully put, but not inaccurate. Before we came out here to address the nation, we used our executive powers to pass the Assets and Wealth Act. Working with the tax office, we have produced a definitive list of every person in the country with wealth into the millions.
You know the sort of... Probably you rather you don't. Because the likes of you and me are not welcome in their gated communities.
Tomorrow, we will be introducing a sweeping reform of the tax system in this country. No more hiding wealth offshore, no more trust funds or creative accounting. A simpler, fairer, unavoidable set of tax laws.
So, all you bastard public school snobs have got nowhere to hide. And earlier today, we revoked your passports. You want them back? You want to leave like you threatened before the election? That's fine. But first, you're going to pay up. You're going to pay back.
Advance are going to turn this country from a nation of warring individuals into a team. To properly fund health and education. To raise the living standards of us all.
The pundits said we'd have to raise billions. But you'll see when we've reclaimed what's ours, that's absolute ferret shite. So to you posh twats...
The people who pay you a pittance to serve them drinks in their private clubs. The people whose children you raise.
So they've got time to get even fucking richer.
Advance have this to say to you.
It ends today.
We are coming for your sports cars and your mansions and your vineyards.
It ends today.
We will put the wealth of this country back where it should have always been, in the hands of the people who created it.
It ends today.
Yes, it ends today. And tomorrow, we'll start making it fair again, just like we promised we would.
And until then, ladies and gents...
normal stuff.
I suggest we all get pissed.
I can't argue with that. Thank you for your time.
Well, an interesting acceptance speech there from the leaders of Advance, and our apologies for the fruity language. Hopefully we got that bleeped out for you in time. If not, someone's going to be in trouble. So, as the country braces itself for new government, that's all from us this evening at the National Nightly News. We'll be back tomorrow with full coverage of the first day under Advance. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
Right, looks like you've got it now. Thanks for all the help, mate. I've got to go. Ferry's about to leave. Probably won't be coming back. Job's yours, mate. Good luck.
Old boring politics then.
Is this some weird fever dream? Am I dying now or something?
You should be so lucky. I'll see you tomorrow night.
Not coming for a drink?
Nope, got a date.
Lucky you. Try not to get murdered.
When the programme's finished, you'll get a broadcast report. It's 3 pages. This first page shows you how well the broadcast went. Each sequence and an overall grade. Remember, grades mean bonuses and they keep the boss happy. If you want to know more about how it went, select more info. If not, select continue to move to the next page. Right, this is an optional section for when you really want to understand what happened during the show. You've got a graph there showing you what the audience did. They're a fickle fucking bunch. And of course you can really drill into the details if you want to get better at making TV. I never came here, never once. Right, this is the important page. It tells you how much you're going to get paid and how much wealth you have overall. That bollocks at the bottom shows you the financial state of our main advertisers. But you don't own any fucking shares, you're a cleaner for God's sake, so why would you care? This is the last page and it tells you the state of the world, tells you how well the government's doing, and down the bottom there, this one's important, tells you what Channel 1 currently thinks of you. In other words, what the boss thinks. Alright mate, welcome to the archive. This is where you can have a quick look back at what you've done and how it looked to the public. There's 3 sections: broadcast, rushes and adverts. Let's start with broadcast. Click on it now. Over on the left, that's all the broadcasts that you've done. Click on any one of them and hit load tape. Once it's finished loading, you can use the rewind and the fast forward at the bottom there to help you get to the bit you want to see.
In a few moments, we'll be going live to tonight's National Nightly News. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on tonight on Channel 1. At 7 o'clock, it's the semi-final of the quotation game, and it's a nail-biting quiz tonight as a team of nuclear physicists take on 4 old ladies from East Grinching. That's followed at 8 p.m. by award-winning documentary series The Shape of Now, which tonight looks at the history of the knee-length sock and its importance during the Great Blackouts of 1871. Not one to miss. At 9 p.m, sit back and relax with multiple award-winning movie The Freedom of Being Colin, taking us all the way up to 11:15, where, as usual, Dr. Adrian Atkinson Blimey
will be grilling his guests in Incisors, and tonight's news return for leading economist Katie Brightman.
Controversy as global mega corporation
Visit picturesque St Bomley this summer and experience a holiday.
Right, click on rushes and let's have a look at those. Right, this is the rushes room. It's pretty simple. The 4 screens you can see, they're going to show you the 4 signals you got from the studio during the actual broadcast. Difference is you can mute any combination of them, so you can have a listen to the stuff you weren't allowed to show. Select the broadcast and give it a go, and when you're done listening to the backstage secrets, hit back.
Prawn and mayonnaise?
You know, seafood makes me go out in pustules.
Yeah, I thought it might increase our viewing figures.
Every day. You offer me prawns every day.
10 seconds, everybody. It's how I show love.
You're trying to kill me.
And yet you persist. Going in 5, 4.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main stories tonight. Moving on up, the election win that experts said just couldn't happen. Hopeful or hostile? Controversy as global megacorporation Remington's Fist buys Honest Andy's Totally Independent and corners the flowered market.
These aren't my cards. Please tell me these aren't my cards.
No, they're the right ones, apparently.
Oh, but this gives me nothing, Jenny. They must see that.
I know. I think they think you won't have anything to say.
Oh, for God's sake, come on. It's a huge day. He's not an...
Absolute bunker. I don't care, Rob. I'm not doing it. I agreed to do 1 BC interview a day. I made that completely clear when we started. Check my contract.
Hi, I'm Megan.
Oh, piss off. You're on thin bloody ice, Rob. Whole wheat, man. Whole wheat.
We're coming back from the break. Quiet in the studio.
Thank you so much.
10 seconds, everybody. starting in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. Later we'll be hearing from shock election winner.
Apparently he's been drinking since lunchtime.
Christ, he's a liability in the best of times.
I know. God help whoever...
mate! Oh, Christ, it's noisy in here, Jesus. Right, hang on. Let me just get out some thanks, darling. Yeah, I'll take that one with me. Cheers. Right, that's better. Let's get set up and get on with it, eh, so I can get back to my guests. First of all, let's get the power on. Come on, mate, on your left, the plugs and stuff. You need to get at least the bottom 4 plugs on. And the trip switch, mate, otherwise nothing's gonna work. Right, let's load up the adverts. You know, load the tapes under the desk, look down. You might want to have a bit of a think about it. Your decisions have consequences, don't they? You can see they finally got the old headline system up and working again, and the Vision Mixer's already in headline mode because headlines always come at the start. It's really simple, mate. These 2 buttons at the bottom of the Vision Mixer, you can see they now have A and B on them, and they're to help you pick image A on the left bottom screen here, or image B on the right bottom screen here. It's really simple. This little clock here will count down the number of seconds you have to make your decision. Provided you make a decision in that time, you're fine. And you can change your mind as much as you want until the clock reaches 0. But if you don't make any decision, you'll be fired before you even get to make another choice. I just want to say one more thing, mate. The pictures you choose to show of these people, well, that's how the public is going to perceive them, and that's going to affect their lives. So like with the adverts, choose carefully.
No,
and we're off. Good luck, mate. If I get time, I'll call you back in the next break. Yeah, I'm coming, darling.
My friend Janet says theirs gets really hot.
Is this Janet who thinks dogs have their own secret language?
Yeah, the one that mistrusts the moon. 10 seconds, everybody.
Not the best source of consumer advice, then.
Don't blame me when it explodes. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Time to go over to Jeremy Donaldson for tonight's.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson. Our main headlines tonight. Destination unknown. At the end of Advance's first full week in office, we ask exactly who's leading this charge. Tonight, I'll be discussing what the new future might hold with a leading economist and radical free thinker. With the country's wealth creators in a state of panic and unfavourable rumblings already heard from overseas, I'll be asking my guests whether Advance can deliver on even a fraction of their manifesto promises. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. The following photo, taken from our archive, gives us a sense of this influential young firebrand who, at the tender age of 23, becomes the youngest female CEO in history. Sophia Remington has always impressed. She was top of her class at university and graduated with the highest honours, immediately being asked back to lecture. The markets have responded favourably to Sophia's appointment, with stocks rising 30 points in light of the announcement. In her first press conference this afternoon, Sophia announced a children's toy named Mr. Snugglehugs. Sophia promises it'll be all the rage this Christmas, but concerns have been raised about the product's safety. Making a splash, intrepid scientist Dr. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Swarsborg-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's Taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough in underwater flower technology, the pair hope to successfully reach the imposing central cavern and the undiscovered plant species it contains. This is, of course, only the latest in a series of successful expeditions for this unlikely pairing. In a joint statement about the dangers their team might face, the pair stated, "We will face the plentiful challenges together like we always have." Playing the field, rumours abound as sporting legend Johnny Hamsleeves is snapped leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. And judging from the angle and velocity of that spray, it looks like Johnny may have been celebrating a little bit too much. I certainly wouldn't want to be his dry cleaner. And grievous bodily charm. With Advance promising a radical new position on crime, how afraid should we actually be? I'll be going live around the country to talk with people who've seen the criminal justice system from every perspective. With more and more powers passing to the police, and less oversight, are we using an Advance-shaped sledgehammer to crack a nut? All that, a mega move for the group of young actors who are already experiencing the positive side of the new Assets and Wealth Act firsthand. They'll be talking and performing later. That's all coming up on tonight's National Nightly News. In the wake of the government's swift enactment of the Assets and Wealth Act, we're talking about Advance's first week in office and what the new future holds. Joining me are Katie Brightman, a leading economist, and Alan James, author of Alan James is Right, The Free Man's Guide to Waking Up. Alan, the government certainly haven't dragged their heels on delivering some of the legislation they promised. But what does the Wealth Act mean for us?
Nothing, Jeremy. We're still vassal slaves, we're just in prettier cages.
A confident dismissal there. Katie Brightman, do you agree?
I'm afraid I don't, no. I think that Advance have realised that the current economic system of unlimited, unending growth is untenable, so they're changing things up.
There I agree with you. They're moving to the next steps in the grand plan.
Grand plan, Alan?
It's all in my book. Alan James is Right, Jeremy. We're to become the great herd, ignorant, sterile and short-lived. That's what they want.
Or perhaps Advance have just realised that if we carry on the way we are, we will destroy ourselves and this planet in a mad orgy of consumption, if you'll excuse the colourful metaphor.
Yes, orgy is the right word. Only it'll be the overlords having an orgy on our poor broken backs. It's all in my book. Alan James is...
Shamelessly self-promoting? Katie, how do you think the rest of the world will respond to this new approach?
I think they're watching carefully. Advance are the most disruptive threat that the world powers have faced since the last Great War.
Yes, Katie's right. War is inevitable.
Thank you, but that isn't
And this will not be a war like we've ever seen before. We're talking millions of deaths. We're talking high-tech weapons that can level entire cities. We're talking...
Out of the wrong orifices?
Mock me all you like, Jeremy, but when they murder your parents and they poison your food and they take you away to their camps for hypno-brainwashing, who will be laughing then?
That might be a great way to sell books, Alan, but you know full well that isn't going to happen in a democracy.
Democracy is dead.
Yes, Advance are radical, and change is always frightening, but the truth is that the Wealth and Assets Act has made more than 90% of the population wealthier and is on target to produce a permanent end to poverty.
Bollocks! What this young lady doesn't understand, Jeremy, is that these are the same people. Maybe they've rebranded, but it's all a little circus act to keep us from seeing the tyrant behind the curtain.
That's where you're wrong, Alan. For a start, they've mobilised the youth vote like we've never seen before.
You say mobilise, I call it grooming. The grooming of an entire generation to walk happily into eternal bondage. They're like psychic paedophiles.
But based on the facts, Katie, what are your predictions?
The Assets and Wealth Act is only the first step. Advance now have a historic budgetary surplus, and as well as properly funding our public services, they're already funneling unprecedented amounts into scientific research and the arts.
Or, as I call them in my book, Frankenscience and opiates. Like opiates, see?
Can we get back to the issue at hand, please, Alan?
This is the issue. It's all coming from the water, the chemicals. They're pumping it full of belief juice.
Don't get me wrong. I want to see these changes, but only if they're sustainable. If Advance lose their power after spending half of our GDP on dismantling infrastructure, that could be catastrophic.
The catastrophe is that they're succeeding. They've got us sat here talking about their puppet show.
All right, we're running out of time. Quickly, Alan, what does the future look like to you?
A bleak space where we've all been figuratively sodomized into submission.
No, of course. Katie?
We might be on the eve of a brave new world. God knows we need some change, but we need to be cautious. Let's walk forwards with our eyes open.
Two very different visions of the future there. Alan James, Katie Brightman, thank you for joining me. When we come back, I'll be investigating law and order before Meghan meets some beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act. That's all coming up tonight on the National Nightly News.
1 minute back.
You know, I think they might do some good.
I hope so too, Jeremy.
How much are you being paid by them then?
Shut the fuck up, Alan. I've never heard so much shit in my life.
Well, we'll see who's full of shit, won't we?
Alan, I can explain it to you, but unfortunately I can't understand it for you.
Well, I don't know what she meant by that.
Absolutely fucking flying, I tell you. How's it going? Actually, fuck it, I don't care. I hate the fucking news. Oh, bloody hell, I love this tune, though. All right, mate, see you later. Bye.
I'm just saying I'll do what I can, that's all.
Bullshit, you will. She's good. You know she is.
I've said I put a word in, that's all I can do.
10 seconds, everybody. Is little JD scared of the big bad culture reporter?
If that sticks, I'll destroy you.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. In our second segment, we're going to be taking a deep dive into the state of law and order in our country. Advance have already tasked what they are calling a solutions team to move this serious social problem to the top of the list. Tonight, we go behind the headlines to meet the people who live with the criminal justice system every day of their lives. First up, we have Gregory Judge, a lawyer who sees the problems close up on the front line. Can you hear me, Gregory?
Yes, I've got you, Jeremy. Thanks for having me.
What's it like on the front line of the hard face of the cold hand of justice?
Well, as you can imagine, Jeremy, we are massively understaffed in this country. We're working every hour we can just to try and cope with the caseloads on our desks.
Which must affect the quality of support you can offer.
Well, we can barely keep up with demand, Jeremy. There just simply isn't enough being done at a systemic level to relieve the problem. We need more support from ministers. What are you doing? We need change at a structural level,
I'm
Jeremy.
leaving, Greg.
Not a good time, darling.
It never is it? I'll be at my mother's.
Just hang on. No, the problem isn't a local one, Jeremy. It's nationwide. Just give me 5 minutes. I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson.
Oh, have you mentioned your affairs?
No. Well, the affairs of the Justice Department that we should be concerned about.
Hello, Mr. Donaldson.
Hello, Mrs. Judge.
We need legislation to relieve the pressure on our public
Sorry
servants.
to interrupt the news, Mr. Donaldson. Can I have a moment to tell my husband I'm leaving him?
Yes, I totally understand. Quite the picture of a burdened legal sector there. Gregory Judge, thank you for joining us.
I cannot believe you.
On our nation's crime. Do you think there's a problem with the system, Bob?
I'm sure we all do, Jeremy. I'm sure we all long for a return to the days when you could safely walk the streets of your community at night, looking in through windows and generally enjoying your neighbours without the risk of being terrorised by some thug with a knife. Or kosh.
So you feel the streets simply aren't safe anymore? Where have we gone wrong, Bob?
Well, that's not a simple question, Jeremy, but I think it all comes down to moral decay. We've diluted our culture and lost touch with what it means to be a citizen of this once great country. Also, as the vicar noted in Sunday's sermon, we probably shouldn't have banned hanging.
And to what do you attribute this moral decay?
Foreigners, gays and gypsies mainly. It's all in the Bible. Look, Leviticus clearly states that... Oh, bugger, hang on a moment. Jeremy, your bloody gimps escaped. Delia, could you give me a little help, please, dear? As I was saying, Jesus didn't like immigrants much, did he?
And just to be clear, you think it's the immigrants who are responsible for the moral decay?
Absolutely, Jeremy. Back in your box, Clive. Back in your box. Delia, I really could use a little help with this.
Oh, sorry, darling. I was spaying the badgers.
Yes, I'm talking to Jeremy Donaldson. Clive, could you put him back in the box?
Oh, Clive, you know it's Wednesday. You go back in your gimp space.
And
Off you go.
whose responsibility is it to make a change, Bob?
Well, it is certainly not the responsibility of the decent, good, white people of
Darling,
this...
where's the padlock?
Oh, hold on just a moment.
Oh, Clive, this simply won't do. Naughty, naughty, naughty boy. Mummy said...
Clive, I am not having this again.
Mummy said get back in your classmates. No! Naughty! You beast, Clive!
As I was saying, Jeremy, moral decay. Crime is the responsibility of the criminal, no one else. Look, everyone has a sob story, but we don't all end up as barbarians, do we? Look, when our daughter Alice comes home with an A-, does she go on a killing spree? No, she takes 3 of her pills and hides under the stairs like a normal child.
Thank you, Bob. Bob Peel there, really locking down the police's position on morality for us. And finally tonight, hopefully uninterrupted, it's time to get to the heart of the matter. Tony Dawson has recently been released from prison after serving 3 years for aggravated assault, burglary and menacing a swan. He's agreed to talk to us today, which is also, I believe, his birthday. Many happy returns, Tony.
Cheers, Jez. Call me Titwank Tony. Everybody else does.
No, I'm not going to be doing that. Can you tell us what it's like in prison, Tony?
Titwank Tony. Hey! Prison's a mixed bag. Structure's quite nice, but it's a constant battle against institutionalisation, as you can imagine. And obviously, titwanks are quite hard to come by.
I'm picking up that you're not alone there, Tony.
Titwank Tony. Hey! Yeah, sorry, my friends are throwing me a surprise party. Good bunch of lads.
OK, well, we're trying to let you get back to that party as soon as possible. First, let me ask you this. Do you feel that your time spent in prison helped to rehabilitate you in any way, Tony?
Titwank Tony! Way! I don't think it's as easy as that, Jez.
Sopen!
Yeah, I think asking that is an oversimplification.
It sounds like it's getting quite busy there, Tony, but let's try and soldier on. Since leaving custody, have you been able to find a new job?
Yeah, all the boys are here. Big Chris,
Oi, oi.
Little Chris,
Oi, oi.
and Vampire Chris.
This one's, yeah?
Yep.
1 sec, love. Titwank Tony's on the news. Rehabilitation's difficult with the current system, Jez. Just not set up for it, you know? It's inherently unjust.
Open!
So, do you feel tempted to... I'm sorry, who's this now?
Open!
You are joking. Chrissy Free Bollocks has only got Mr. Fancy, oh. Not now, fellas. I'm on the news.
It seems like we've caught you at a bad time.
The little boy?
Oh, I can't really hear you, mate. It's getting a bit busy here.
Jesus!
Yes, we seem to be losing the signal
No
here, Tony.
fucking way. Let's believe that.
Well, we're just trying to get that signal back. I think we... Yes, Tony? Tony, I mean, we were literally away for 2 seconds. How has this happened, Tony? Can you hear me? Well, we seem to have lost our train of thought there a little. Hopefully you, the viewer at home, have managed to glean a broader understanding of the serious and complex issues around law and order. After the break, Megan will be live with some plucky young thespians. Don't go away. We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Mate, I ain't got long and I'm quite drunk. It's been a great night. In this next section, there's a bit of music. If you edit in time with the music, you can see the result on the Vision Mixer, and the public will love that. Don't worry if you don't, though. You won't get punished for it or nothing. Just try and stay in the groove. Also, one last tip. When the music starts, turn down the broadcast volume. Right, enjoy the music bit. God, I love music. God, I'm so pissed. I think I might go and throw up in a bit.
In his dressing room, probably banging his head against the wall.
Look, it's all right, I've got this.
I'm sure he's on his way.
Come on, it's welcome back. How hard can it be?
This is on you.
10 seconds, everybody. We're going to open on Megan. Camera 2. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Welcome's Black. I'm Megan Wolfe, and on tonight's Culture Spot, I'll be chatting with one of the first beneficiaries of the Assets and Wealth Act, a team of inspiring young people from Scritchford Sixth Form College who today received a grant from Advance to take their play, Hey, Friendship, on a tour of local secondary schools. Welcome to you all. Well, let's start with you two, Harriet and Charlotte Winstanley-Hamilton. Girls, you must be thrilled.
We are, Megan. We're overwhelmed, to be honest.
And I believe you two are sisters, is that right?
Yes, Charlotte's my oldest. I'm the older, more popular one. Only joking.
Harriet and Trey were really the ones who came up with the whole idea.
So, Harry and I were shooting the breeze in the cafeteria, and I said, hey, let's actually do something.
So I went to look for a drama teacher.
But she'd been laid off due to budget cuts. Fortunately, I directed a pantomime when I was at university, so I knew the ropes, as it were.
Right, yes, but you're the maths teacher, aren't you?
Yes, that's me, Jeff Algebra, maths teacher.
Maths is really important.
Oh, thanks, Steve.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
As is theatre. It's one of the oldest art forms in history. Aristotle
I just think that when we travel around all these problem schools and the poor kids see us, they say, hey, I really want to be like those attractive kids. And that's a very beautiful and powerful thing. We touch our audiences and they touch us right back.
I suppose with a surname like Algebra, there was really only one choice of career for me. My wife, Angela, and I, we often laugh about it.
Angela Algebra.
Yes.
We just want to bring a bit of song and joy into people's lives.
and teach people about the difficult issues. The issues in the play are what really matter.
And I think you're going to be showing us an extract from this play, aren't you?
That's right. To put into context, I play a young first year who's having some troubles at school.
Her character doesn't actually have a name, yeah, because in a way she's like all of us.
It's like a metaphor. Maybe she's you at home, or like maybe she's you, Megan.
Maths is really important.
Yeah, thanks, Steve.
Put it in, coach.
Yes, thanks, Steve.
Right, well, I'm going to have a little chat with your teacher while you run off and get ready. I can't wait to see it. That's it, that way. So, Jeff, when did you first hear about the grant?
2 days ago. A letter from Advance arrived at the school. Now, the headmaster thought it was all a prank, but his secretary retrieved it from his bin and brought it to me.
Wow, how did you react?
I also threw it in the bin. But then Harriet and Trey rescued it, and they rang the number at the bottom of the page, and next thing you know, we're on tour.
Wow. Well, I think we can all guess which way you'll be voting from now on.
Do you know what? It's funny because Angela and I don't usually vote. We're not very political. I'm a mathematician, of course, and she's a paraplegic mainly. But we did used to watch that Peter Clements DIY show back in the day, and so we thought, why not? Let's have a go with this old democracy thing.
Okay.
And here we ballywell are.
Good stuff.
Fucking brilliant!
So, let's have a look at a short section of Hey, Friendship.
Dear Diary, I'm not sure I can take another day at this school. Another day of tears.
Tears.
Another day of fears. But still I walk the corridors alone. Dreading what might be around every corner.
What's around the corner? What's around the corner? What's around the corner?
Oh, hi, Gary.
Oh, heavens, no! It's Gary the Fist!
Gary the Fist!
Going somewhere, little first year?
Great. I've been looking for some poor victim to bully all morning. But will this make me feel better about my violent father? Violent father.
Excuse me, I'm late for maths. It's my favourite subject. And so important.
Maths is for losers.
What?
Maths is for losers.
My arm's stuck, coach.
Keep going, for fuck's sake!
Right, maths is for losers. Now, give me your lunch money.
Double lunch for me today, but why am I only truly happy when I'm eating?
Not today, Gary the Fist.
What do you mean not today? Who are you? Oh, my arm's free, coach.
Brilliant, keep going.
Right, who are you to stand up to me? I'm Gary the Fist, and you're just a sad little girl with two gay dads who's all alone.
That's where you're wrong, Gary the Fist. These are my two new friends. Vanessa is captain of the netball team.
Yeah!
And Blake owns a motorbike.
Yeah.
But I can't fight all three of you, and I don't have any friends of my own.
Take a look at me. Take a little look at my face. I could be you. She could be
Life can be peachy keen if you work as a team.
It's my choice to be mean. So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Hey, listen up, I won't take no crap. Who said middle class girls can't rap? I ain't afraid of your crew lads. I'm a mother loving rebel, but I still love maths.
Hey, kids, I'm Gary the Fist. People think that folks like me probably shouldn't exist, but that's just prejudice, and I'd do better if you knew the way that I became Gary the Fist. I grew up on a council estate. The park was hip, but the flats weren't great. My dad used to come home drunk and late, and he'd hit my mum, and for dinner he had to wait. Where's my dinner, woman?
It's not ready.
Where's my dinner, woman? Don't make me ask you again.
Hitting women is wrong.
I guess life's pretty hard on a council estate. 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 It's so damn hard on a council estate.
Life can be peachy keen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If you work as a team.
Just work as a team.
It's your choice to be me.
It's my choice.
So stop now, make a different choice.
Listen to that inner voice.
Friendship!
Yes! Oh, oh, oh.
Well, thankfully that's all we have time for tonight on the National Nightly News. Join us tomorrow night for all the headlines from across the country. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. Have a peaceful night.
And we're out.
Oh, that was brilliant!
What the literal fuck was that?
I believe that was art.
I believe I've got a 14-inch cock, but it doesn't make it so.
I have a similar belief about an adequate paycheck.
Oh, someone please get these twats out of my studio.
New Judicochon.
Take a look at what's in store tonight on Channel 1. Kicking off our evening schedule is a retrospective of the best moments from Peter Clement's Just the Job, reminding us just how our new Prime Minister became so popular in the first place.
But for a fraction of their manifesto promises. Out with the old, Remington's Fist have appointed Sophia Remington as their new CEO. David Wong and marine biologist Ingrid Svalborg-Horgensford have today set off to explore Dante's Taint. The recently discovered cave system was previously thought unreachable, but thanks to a new breakthrough, leaving Bush, one of the capital's hottest clubs. The footballer was caught while out celebrating being named Sports Personality of the Year last week, as reported by this very programme. And judging from the angle and velocity of that spray, it looks like Johnny may have...
Pricks, it's Bozeman here, your boss. While you're powering up and getting the adverts loaded, I thought I should just tell you that we've had one of those public information films from the government, and it's mandatory that you play it. You still have a free choice for the other two, so read those tape labels carefully, but make sure you play the advance advert, preferably at the second break. Right, that's the lot. Have a great show, total pimp. My God, that looks nasty.
Oh, how's it going with Steve?
Why are all men such pricks?
That well, eh?
Apparently he has a complicated relationship with his fate.
No.
Sorry, are you saying you chose his imaginary friend in the sky over you?
I don't know why I talked to you.
You're probably just a really awful date.
10 seconds, everybody. Like I said, all of you.
Did your personality accidentally slip out?
Pricks. Going in 5, 4, 3.
Good evening. I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolf. Our main stories tonight.
Uncooperative. A mysterious symbol has appeared overnight on thousands of buildings throughout the capital.
Tonight, in an exclusive live interview with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, I'll be asking what this mysterious symbol might mean.
Critics have been quick to dismiss the graffiti as a publicity stunt, or an act of frustration by a tiny, disorganised group of those who will never, under any circumstances, be content.
We shall overcome. Trapped in Dante's taint for more than a month now, doctors Ingrid Svorsborg Horgensvoord and David Wong announced today that they're considering 2 possible options.
With 2 of the finest minds in science working together, hopes are still high for the eventual return of the team to dry land.
While both options are still on the table, support seems to be growing for a daring escape attempt. If a group of fungus experts can't fix the most advanced craft ever conceived by man, then who can?
Bloodbath avoided. As the last Mr. Snugglehogs is found and destroyed, we ask, how could we have been so blind?
Fortunately, this station wisely chose not to advertise Mr. Snugglehugs, and the subsequent disappointing sales turned out to be a miracle, as only 7 children were horribly injured by the lethal toy. How much worse could it have been? Thankfully, we'll never know.
Julia Salisbury, who mobilised numerous government resources to recall the product immediately after the first blindings, said today that the new advance mark, which must be earned by all new products, would be a 100% ironclad guarantee of safety and quality.
Fallen angel? Notorious addict Johnny Hamsleeve seems to have reached a new low in his battle with booze, as this recent picture reveals.
Johnny's star certainly lacks its former glow these days, with public concern over his mental and physical health growing at an alarming rate.
Let's hope that the team at the Gentle Touches Rehabilitation Centre can help Johnny get back to his former glory. Johnny's family have asked for privacy during this difficult time. We'll have reporters at the clinic around the clock, so you don't miss a thing.
Is this once celebrated role model about to become the bad boy of sport?
And onwards and upwards. In an attempt to put the Mr. Snugglehugs disaster behind them, Rimington's Fist CEO Sophia Rimington today announced a brand new product that already has the markets buzzing with interest.
This groundbreaking product came as quite a shock when it was revealed earlier today, though its critics are sceptical that the young CEO can fulfill her promises.
Described as a breakthrough far ahead of its time, the male contraceptive pill is heralding a sexual revolution. Its fans are celebrating the fact that men can finally take equal responsibility for contraception, but others have expressed concerns over its safety and side effects.
With that exclusive Prime Ministerial interview coming up later.
And our very own Patrick Bannon live at the first annual Sports Board final.
You won't want to miss a second of tonight's National Nightly News.
But first tonight, while Advance is certainly proving popular with the majority of the country, who've seen their wealth and standards of living increase considerably, for some, the transition has not been as pleasant.
That's right, Megan. The formerly aristocratic members of our society have had to make major adjustments to come to terms with the new regime.
Robin Short is in suburbia investigating rumours that these previously privileged people may be planning some kind of protest. Robin?
Thanks, Megan. I'm here in Moderate Hatchings to talk to Wentworth and Penelope Somerset Bentley, who were relocated to the house you see behind me after Advance passed the Assets and Wealth Act on their first day in office. Tell me, how are you settling into your new lives?
Well, quite frankly, Robin, we're not settling in at all. Our neighbours are whitewatters.
Simply untenable. I hope you'll forgive my language, but it's as steaming as a Wednesday hatch basket with too much spatting.
Steady now, Penelope. Sorry, Robin, my sister's under a lot of pressure. She had to dress herself this morning and she still hasn't quite recovered, Robin.
Fuddly-dee. My goodness, that must have been quite a shock.
She really struggles with ribbons, Robin.
Well, at least you've been rehoused in a nice big house.
Big house? This grubby little gaddis spatch only has one staircase.
And the breakfast room and the dining room in the same bloody place. Imagine that, having all one's grub in one room. One room, Robin.
So what would you say to the people that feel that your family has had it far too easy for far too long, and that these redistributions are both fair and just?
I hardly think we've had it easy for fussle's sake. Only one of our swimming pools was even heated.
But realistically, what can you do?
Well, you've asked the right whatty question, Robin.
Thank you, Wentworth. I wasn't the youngest ever editor of the Swinstead Middle School Inquirer for no reason.
I think our toilet butler was from Swinstead. Dear George. Oh, I wonder what happened to him. Yes. I remember! Daddy tried to shoot him in the buttocks and he ran off into the woods.
Oh, good times.
That's probably my last happy memory, Robin.
Tragic, but what can you do?
We will rise and rebel. We wage war on our revolting rulers with righteous words and rebellious writings. Our best guess in our quest for redress is to divest our breast in an undressed bare chest protest.
Oh, what's that?
Daddy! Daddy, it's
Daddy!
Please don't do that. We can't show this on the news.
Right, you buggers! Tally-ho! Tilly! Get the dog!
Tilly's our mummy. She's proper cracked off too.
Well, at least you are showing some shame.
Free at last!
Oh! Somerset Bentley, glad to meet you. See, the protest has started already. Nice sharp work, boy.
Thanks, Daddy.
He gets that from me, you know.
And forgive me, what are you trying to achieve here?
We just want to be fucking well heard, that's all.
Language, Penelope. We are news, not rude.
Sorry, Daddy.
We want the world to realise we won't roll over and run away. We will revolt. We will rise again.
Yes, we bloody well will. Stuff and piff-pop.
Are you okay?
Daddy, how could you?
Well, shut up and get your
Well, Jeremy, Megan, as this embryonic protest movement takes one in the top legs, it's back here in the studio. I'm Robin Short, struggling surreptitiously in Moderate Hatchings.
Thanks, Robin.
Fluid, Robin.
Let's
Can we get the
I'm sorry.
my cappuccino?
I've got it.
I thought you have. But can a naked protest movement ever really catch on? It doesn't seem like the way we do things in this country.
But as I'm sure you're aware, Jeremy, this country is becoming a very different place.
Yes, but seriously, who's going to run around naked in our weather?
Oh, hopefully not you, Jeremy.
Yes, well, there wouldn't be enough canvas for the slogans.
When we come back, our very own Patrick Bannon will be live from the Sports Board Finals. Stick around, you won't want to miss it.
We'll be back after these messages.
1 minute back.
Oh, sorry, I'm busting.
Oh. She's funny.
Yes, I know. I think it's very endearing.
She wants your job.
She's welcome to it. Why is it raining on my desk?
Alex, Bosun, we're getting reports in that naked protesters might try and spoil the sports board final by waving their fleshy bits about. Try and make sure you don't broadcast it. It's 6 p.m. for God's sake. No one wants to see fannies on the news. Bozeman out.
Don't be lazy. Let's get crazy. You want to sleep on your lawn? We've got
Men sleeping bag, boys sleeping bags, couples sleeping bags, sleeping bags. You could sleep it upside down with just your feet out. We got beds you could sleep on your feet.
Well, that's what it says.
Yes, I understand that, but I always say welcome back.
I think we should just keep it as it is.
Well, of course you do. I've got one hack line.
What's that supposed to mean? I didn't write it, Jeremy.
That's all right, fine. Jenny, there's something wrong with the auto cue.
10 seconds.
Oh, I just felt a drip again. Have they not fixed this?
I want to see us fry. It's good for the ratings.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Wolf. Coming up later, we'll be speaking to the Prime Ministers about their exciting new healthcare facilities, transition centres.
Nice to see they care.
You're absolutely right, Jeremy. But first, we're going now to our own Patrick Bannon, who's reporting live from the finals of the new game that's gripping the nation, Sports Board. Patrick?
That's right, Megan. You join me live here from the final of the first annual Sports Board Championship. It's been a hotly contested competition so far. I think it's fair to say these two have been dancing around each other all season. First up, we have Eddie Striker. She's the more experienced of our two players today. Striker has got an accuracy of 7, a danger rating of K, and a 12-month driving ban. Striker's known for her signature move, the Orangi Hamster. And facing her tonight, hoping to prove himself with a career record of 12 outs, 14 finishes, and a divorce pending, it's Mr. Wingspan himself, Tommy, the Fingernail Harris. Just waiting on the ref now. The slapping ceremony is taking part. Still going on.
Striker go first.
Striker, of course, first to start as she won the trivia round earlier on by some margin.
D-Robe.
Harris, perhaps the brawn and not the brains. Stupid. Eddie Striker. Nice start there from Striker. She's determined not to let the nerves show. Not after last time. On to Mr. Harris now. Tommy. Using his arm to pick up the ball. Not a bad shot there from Harris. Back to Striker for shots number 3. All right. She's gone sort of throwing it under her legs. Not bad if you ask me.
Was there contact? Don't know why you complained. To Harris.
Bit of business with the ref, but it got sorted out. Back to Harris now. A ball in the hand is worth 2 in the bush.
Football. Move back.
I'd say that's fair, but what do I know? Oh no, and Harris is not going to be happy with that. So really not a good start there for Tommy Harris in round 1. We can only hope that round 2 treats him a bit better. But first, of course, after the arguing with the ref section, it's time to change ends. Now we have the ceremonial changing of the ends. And of course, now they go back to the starting positions, as that makes sense. Striker giving it large.
Second round, double. Harris.
Winter round 2 now with Harris. Okay, we seem to have some sort of streak on the pitch. I apologise if we broadcast any of that stuff. She appears to have slogans across her breasts and arse. Try and ignore all of that. Security, I'm sure we're going to take them out as soon as possible. Apologise if we broadcast any of that. As I said, we're going to get the situation resolved as soon as possible. They're trying to carry on play, but it's proving a bit difficult, and I'm struggling to follow because it's quite an eyesore. And women's bodies, yeah. All right, great. Okay, so back into round 2 now, and Harris absolutely determined to close that massive gap. Eddie Striker. No, it's just some of the tightest play I've seen ever. Harris. And was that the fitted thumb screw? We haven't seen that since the heats. What a brilliant move. Back to Striker. And we know what that means, ladies and gentlemen. That is, of course, the ground sound. Excellent bit of play here on both sides of the bucket. I don't know about you at home, but I'm finding the technical mastering display here absolutely blooming jaw-dropping. The ref has spotted something in Harris's neck or head. And Harris is having an absolute shocker. What a miserable start there for Tommy Harris. But he is a late bloomer, of course, always said that. And after all, it is a game of 2 halves, 4 rounds and 7 subgenres. But now, of course, it's time for the half-time show. Sponsored by Remington Smith.
On my whistle, on my whistle.
Nice piece of music here to start the half-time show. Okay, another posh protester loose on the court here. We can only apologise for that. We'll do our best to shield you from having to look directly at it. Is running around here with his genitals on display for all to see. And ruining what was shaping up to be quite the dance interlude there. Now he's thrusting himself in Harris's face. Security's on it. And the bucket has been knocked over! I cannot stand it when the bucket gets knocked over. Hopefully he'll get taken out now. Genitals flying around for all to see. Really, if you ask me, not Sunday morning television. And out of there, hopefully taken away, never to be seen again.
Final poses. Ball boy cannot be in the final pose.
And a lovely finish there on both sides of the bucket. I wouldn't like to call that one. And as we head into round 3, I'd love to know what's going on in these two players' heads. But unfortunately, because of science, we can't.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Not bad. Well, that ball boy's giving me the eye all day. I don't know what's going on there. Striker there, not a great start. She looks a bit flustered, I think, after all that swinging around. Back to Harris here. God, what I wouldn't give to be that ball. I'm all right, ladies. Tommy Harris. And it dribbled down his arm, which is actually a really good move, because, of course, if it dribbles down his arm and goes on the floor, it's not going in the bucket. Back to Striker. And Striker's gone for the animal bonus there, but of course, perhaps... And yes, Harris has countered with a tiny bell. That is wonderful play. Of course, we've seen that before. Look at her face. She is absolutely gutted. What a mug. That could have been the clincher. What a massive shame.
Harris receives possession now.
Harris to serve now. Harris, of course, undefeated by Kestrel in his last 4 battles. So, here we go. Tommy Harris. That's all right. Not bad there. He threw it quite far away from him, which is quite a good idea. Very clever there. Perhaps a little contact. A caution from the referee, who's being, if you ask me, a little bit harsh. Ellie Striker. And she's let the nose get to her. What the hell was that? You hate to see it, don't you? You cannot believe it. Oh, for God's sake. Okay, like, I mean, this is a mess now. I don't know what I can be doing about this. I mean, sort of breasts and genitals for all to see. I mean, there's only so much I can do. They're sort of everywhere, aren't they? All right, I'll try and carry on. The players are trying to carry on, but of course it's difficult because these protesters, hopefully we can get them taken off soon so we can carry on with the match. Okay, what's going on here? Yes, yes.
We want our money.
Yes, very good. Take them away. Bloody wasters, absolute wasters. Oh, jog on!
This is the mime round.
It's an absolute bloody... Okay, and now we're going to go into the final round. And of course, as it's a Tuesday, the final round is a mime round. Who could believe it? Nice imaginary shot there from Harris. It really could go anywhere at this point. Really high-level play here from 2 absolute juggernauts of the sport.
Hold.
The bucket getting moved back to its proper place. About time, if you ask me. She's juggling it around from her hands. Interesting. And she's put it in her mouth like as if it was an egg. And now she's and she spat it out. She did the egg spit. So a wonderful move there, quite late on.
Illegal spit.
From Striker. But she's in it to win it.
Harris's ball.
On it like a car bonnet. Tommy Harris here, having a bit of beef. And he's peeling it as if it were a banana, which is an interesting move. Not sure if he hasn't had his potassium or what's going on today with Harris. And he's throwing it, and the banana was the ball! What a fantastic move there from Harris. Unfortunately, that is the end. What a pathetic, there we go, Jeremy, that is over. How can he look his 8-year-old son in the face tonight? What a lump. We just have to wait for the referee now to announce it to make sure it is all official.
Contestants in, please. And the winner of the first annual Sports Board Championship is
a win for everyone, including me as my 15th win in the Sports Board Championship. I'm going to be celebrating tonight with my wife and children. Another wonderful victory for me. Here come the on-site security to collect their medals, their 6th and 7th respectively. And thanks again for watching the Sports Board Championships. What more is there to say? I'm Patrick Bannon. Looking forward to celebrating tonight. And all that's left to say, Jeremy, is back to you in the studio.
Patrick Bannon there at an extraordinary final.
Historic Sports Board, Jeremy.
I didn't know you were a fan.
Oh, yeah, I can wrench a doubler with the best of them, I'll have you know.
I certainly wouldn't bet against you.
When we come back, I'll be talking live with Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement, who apparently have a big announcement you wouldn't want to miss.
That's coming up after these messages.
1 minute back.
Fucking microphone shocked me.
What?
Fucking microphone just shocked me. Where's that sound guy?
Everything okay?
Oh, the mics are just trying to kill us now, apparently.
You'll be fine. You're unshockable.
I'm immune to your cheap flattery.
I'm wearing you down.
Postman again. Just heard from the chaps in maintenance that this storm is causing the odd power surge. Some of your controls might be a bit, dangerous. Now, I know you're tough and you can take the odd shock for the sake of a perfect news broadcast, but too many in quick succession can stop the old ticker. I'm sure you'll make the right decisions. Postman out.
We seem to have sprung a leak. Well, several, actually.
You're going to need a whole new lining up there. Triple C.
Wilbur, Minister, it's so good to see you again.
Miss Wolfe, your star seems to be in the ascendant. It's a great time to be alive.
Too bloody right. Peter Clement.
Megan Wolfe.
My, but that's a firm handshake you've got there.
She's tougher than she looks. Am I here?
Here, with Mr. Clement on your left.
Right you are, pet.
Is your seat down?
10 seconds, everybody.
No, mine's fine. Have you had a little accident?
Chissy cow.
5, 4, 3.
Welcome back. I am delighted to be joined by Prime Ministers Julia Salisbury and Peter Clement. Welcome to the National Nightly News, Prime Ministers.
Oh, please, it's just Julia and Peter.
We don't believe much in titles. It doesn't seem very advanced.
We're delighted to be here.
Well, firstly, I should ask how you feel about the graffiti that's been springing up across the capital. Should we be worried?
Oh, no, you definitely shouldn't be worried.
Well, not unless you've got a fatal paint allergy, anyway.
But yes, it does seem that there are still some people we haven't been able to help.
You know, whinges.
People who've yet to benefit from the many advantages of the new future.
And you know, Megan, as my old mum used to say, there are some pissants who just don't know how to be happy.
We're working hard to reach these people, find out what they're angry about and how we can help. The door to my government is always open.
Something's dripping on me.
But we didn't come here to talk about what may yet turn out to be some alternative arts project.
Which we no doubt will have funded.
When we want to talk to the nation about something far more exciting.
Yes, your office briefed us that you have an announcement to make, but they were being surprisingly secretive about it.
Let me ask you a question, Megan.
Oh, okay, it's not usually how it works, but...
What scares you? I mean, really scares you?
It's death, Pet. She's talking about death.
We're all afraid of our deaths. It's part of being human.
Sorry, are you saying that Advance have cured death?
That'll be a vote winner. Yep, that was definitely a drop there.
But while we may not have cured death, we hope we found a way to make it much less scary.
And much less painful and much less expensive. Look, which is me close-up camera?
Oh,
there?
yes, it's camera 4 right
When I was 13, my mum came and got me from school. He was to go to the hospital. My granddad, he'd collapsed that morning, so we'd all to say our goodbyes. And I went in to see him. He were all frail and pale. And I was scared because I'd only seen him the week before, and he'd been fit as fiddle. And he said to me, Peter, he said, it's the right time. I don't ever want to be a burden to the people I love.
Was that the last time you saw him?
Nope, 3 days later he were back home. He lived with us for 9 miserable years after that. He had to be fed with a rubber spoon. He had a commode, so he'd just take a shit right there in the lounge while we were watching TV. He wouldn't even wait till half time.
That sounds...
it was awful. It were awful for us, and this is the point. It were awful for him. He could see it was destroying me, man, watching him slowly fade away, and he would beg her to turn off his breathing equipment at night, but she couldn't, or she wouldn't. It were a crime, you see. And she didn't want to lose the children, as well as her old man.
No family should have to suffer like Peter's did. And now no family will have to. The Health Service is today opening the first of 300 new transition centres.
The transition centres will handle everything for your last days. The legal, financial, medical and emotional costs are all catered for and paid for by the government. So even the poorest citizen gets to pass on with dignity when they choose.
And that choice is important. This is a service only for people who choose it. For people who feel they've run their course and don't want to burden themselves or their families with a slow, long, humiliating decline.
This mouthful pack has just given me electric shock.
Are you okay?
I don't know. I think it fried my asshole.
Oh, we're still on the air, Peter.
No, yes, sorry, my apologies. Oh.
Are you not worried that this new system might be open to abuse?
In what way?
Sapke, can I get a little bit of help here? Please.
That the older generation might feel somewhat...
Jesus, I rolled your face, fucker! That one was massive. Right, no, this bastard's coming off.
Sorry, the older generation might feel somewhat coerced.
Coerced into spending their final days eating gourmet food and drinking fine wine and luxury spas and gardens.
Look, I am perfectly capable of... with a rusty twat!
Prime Minister, please watch your language.
Go get yourself sorted out.
Right.
We're launching a government information film tonight. It should tell your viewers everything they need to know.
You really do move at a breathless pace. It's hard to believe you've yet to be in office a year.
Oh, Megan, we're only getting started.
And on that note, thank you so much for being here. Jeremy.
Right, yes, that's all we have time for tonight. Thank yous go out to our guests. Congratulations to all the winners at the Sports Board final. And we'll see you tomorrow night at the same time. My name's Jeremy Donaldson. If you can, have a peaceful night.
And we're out. Good job, everybody.
So they just...
It seems so.
I don't suppose there's any way this could be a good thing.
It's for my nephews. I mean, transitioned the moment I stopped the leak.
alive. It's Jenny, the floor manager. Are you okay? Alex, you need to get it together. Look at the broadcast screen. Just look at it. That's all we've been putting out since you went down. You have to fix it, now. Alex, out the window. See? They're all over it, little bastards. You're going to need a full charge to clear that many off. Hold down the big button until it's fully charged, then release it to zap the little fuckers. Excellent, Alex. We're broadcasting again. They must have built up while you were napping. Usually it only takes a tap on the button to clear one. Look, there's a lone one climbing now. Zap it off before it starts to mess up the signal again. Great. That seems to be the last of them. For now. Right. We're about a minute out. Get the adverts loaded up. I've got to deal with my pet idiot. And Alex, keep your ears open. You'll hear them climbing up the tower. Don't let them build up.
We'll be going live to the National Nightly News. But before that, let's take a look at what's coming up later on.
This has no credibility, Jenny.
On Channel 1 at 7 o'clock.
No professionalism.
What's wrong with this picture? And
It's not a mess. Everything is where it should be. It's ramshackle and characterful, and I'd expect you to know the difference.
That's followed at 8 p.m. by
Of course Megan's place looked lovely, but I can't see it, can I?
Thanks, Jenny. How's lock-in with the boyfriend going?
Decided to take his chances on the wild streets, eh? Rather than endure another romantic comedy.
Electric Fever Dream, starring Lawrence Blunderclatch as Helen.
Jeremy, Jenny says your hair looks stupid.
Yes, I can hear her.
And she says she's not talking to you.
Yes, I know, I can hear her.
Shall I count us in?
Make it so.
Okay, 10 seconds. Break a leg, everyone.
Preferably a furry one.
It's the National Weather Report.
5, 4, 3.
It's time to join Jeremy Donaldson.
Good evening, I'm Jeremy Donaldson.
And I'm Megan Wolfe. Our main stories tonight.
Snugglepups? It's been almost 5 weeks since all the Mrs. Snugglehugs toys woke up simultaneously in factories worldwide and began searching for their husbands. The Mr. Snugglehugs were so short-sightedly destroyed. And now, as this photograph suggests, they may be changing tactics.
Built to surprisingly traditional gender stereotypes, the Mrs. Snugglehugs have been arming themselves with a variety of household implements. All the more reason to make sure that cat flap is taped up good and tight.
This frightening new development means that even those previously thought to be relatively safe, like the young and fit, must take care to watch their backs and keep their ears open for the soft steps of sinister feet.
Going stir crazy, with no signs of Mrs. Snugglehugs' batteries running out, and the government lockdown now in its 31st day, domestic relationships across the country are taking some unexpected turns.
Dramatic reports are beginning to emerge of uncharacteristically bold behaviour in homes across the country. And we're not talking about the model planes that occupy so much time in the Donaldson household.
With dating options limited, many house sharers, in particular students, are finding solace in co-tenants they'd previously rejected as unfuckable, indulging in an activity that has become known as snuggle hugging.
Locked and loaded, Shin Calligraphy Johnny Hansleaves seems to be taking his own unique approach to being locked in.
Since checking into rehab, not much has been heard from the former role model, but this latest photo leaked by another resident today seems to confirm that all might not be well at Gentle Touches.
Poor old Johnny seems to be back to his old ways, taking what looks like to me the electrifying mixture of zap, crackle, fizz and buzz, or as I call it, Thursday.
The shape of things to come? In their own version of a lockdown for more than 45 years now, the descendants of Doctors David Wong and Ingrid Svorsborgen-Horgensvoord and their unfortunate team today managed to get a personal statement to the surface using flagellized imaging equipment.
Many of the Svorsborgen-Horgens brood, as they've come to be known, have certainly captured the public imagination, with a recent vote naming Helvetica Svorsborgen-Wongensvoord the most likely to survive a massive electric shock.
Greetings, Upsiders. This is Time Svorsborgen-Wongensvoord reporting from Dante's Taint on our 3,756th day in this miserable fucking UK. Everything is the same. Oh, is that something new on the wall? Of course it isn't. It never fucking is. And Mum and Dad talking about science all the fucking time. Who cares about science? I'm young. I want to do young people's things like vandalism and teenage pregnancy. But every eligible partner in this undersea toilet was grown from the same fungal bond as I was, so that's a rocket turn off a stove. Why haven't you come to save us yet? We're practically human, like... Shit, Dad's coming.
It's hard to believe they've been down there so long now.
But everyone knows time moves differently underwater, Jeremy. That's why baths take so long.
That's right. And as anyone will tell you, the deeper the bath,
the quicker the relativistic forces of temporal causality will have a measurable effect upon the fixed dimensional parameters of your environment.
Yes, I've said that many times.
Papers, please. With the lockdown becoming ever more rigorously enforced, having a passport is becoming increasingly important, Alex.
The government caused controversy today by announcing a fresh charge of passport fraud with an imaginative form of punishment for those found guilty of this brand new but incredibly serious crime.
In what's being called a draconian measure, the government has reinstated the ancient right of trial by custard. Just like in the old days, if you float, you're executed on the spot. But if you sink, well, you'll go well with profiteroles, Jeremy.
And Advance speaks out. With the snuggle struggle proving a test to governments around the world, Advance HQ released a curious statement this afternoon.
In the accompanying release, they asked us to stress that they have been listening and that this should be taken as a response to how the people really feel.
We've certainly done our bit on this show to contribute to the political climate. But let's not forget, how we behave in our home lives is what really matters.
Let's hope it's not just me who filled out that questionnaire, Jeremy, or we're all in trouble.
Let's play that statement.
Good evening. One of the many new jobs I have in this current crisis is to liaise on a daily basis with the Department of Perambulation, and they have made me aware of these. Now, these are genuine requests from citizens for permission to go outside. Now, I would like to share a few of these with you tonight under the loose heading of what the fuck is wrong with you people? How difficult is this to grasp? I'd like to start with James from Anger Hampton, who says he needs to go out because there's a duck in the park that I like to try and feed on a Friday. I call him Mr. Quackington, and I think we're really starting to bond. No, James, they make their hives in parks. And then Katie, from Self-Righteous-on-Sea, wants to go out so she can deliver homemade meals to the elderly. No, Katie, stay at home. Your casserole's dire, and Shirley can get by with tins of creamed rice from the 1950s. And you, Lewis, from Hamble Bamblebury, those screams you heard in the alley last night behind your house are best left to the police. Now, I want to make this as clear as I can. Think first, stop sending me stupid, sodding requests, and stay inside. Pretend it's not happening until we tell you it's all over. Thank you.
Delectable stuff.
Later tonight, Jeremy will be catching up with brave roving reporter Patrick Bannon, while I check in with two friends of the programme who find themselves stranded at opposite ends of the country.
And then, in part 3, there's going to be a quiz. Presumably because there's nothing more important going on that you might like to report on if you were, say, a news programme.
And in a moment, we'll both be asking Sophia Rimington how such a trusted brand can have made such a terrible manufacturing mistake.
With what it describes here as help from popular psychic scientist Delia Lywell.
Oh, I like her.
No, you don't. Why do you do that?
That's all coming up on tonight's
National Nightly News. Tonight, how did we get here? Where are we going? And most importantly, who's to blame?
Joining us from her ranch in Arlingsfield, Milkirky, is the CEO of Rimington's Fist, internationally respected business Svengali, Sophia Rimington.
Thank you for having me, Megan. I'm a huge fan of your work.
And from a crystal healing laboratory, what I assume is a garage in Upper Lowington, inexplicably renowned psychic scientist, Dr. Delia Lywell. Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having us. Sorry, us?
Myself and the eminent professors.
Is that what you call the voices in your head?
The voice seems to attract dead scientists. I don't really know why.
The money?
They express themselves to me through ethereal algebra and quadratic predictions. It's all very technical.
No, it isn't.
I concur. Miss Remington, the entire Snugglehugs range will surely go down as the biggest public relations disaster in history, won't it?
Well, of course, that's one world record we would never have sought to claim.
What can you say at a time like this?
There is only one thing that can be said. I'm sorry. We're sorry. From everyone here at Remington's Fist, but especially the dedicated inventors and world-beating engineers at Rimming Toys, we are deeply, deeply sorry. Who could have predicted that letting a child's toy learn how to love could have such unforeseen consequences?
Mary Shelley?
We see you, Sophia Remington. You are preening by a metal vessel, and where you venture, you will see neither land nor sky.
Is that supposed to be the future?
Only the past is concrete. I remember being a child in my grandpa's workshop when he made the first dancing hangman toy. He put it by my bed, and when I couldn't sleep, I'd wind it up and let it go, and I'd watch that happy little executioner just wiggle and wave his tiny noose and dance before my eyes. Grandpa sold thousands of them, on the quiet, obviously. And he used the money he made to found Rimming Toys, which is now just one small part of the global supermassive megacore that is Remington's Fist. Sadly, we lost Grandpappy along the way. He died in a fire at the preschool tobacco factory, another one of his pet projects. But we never lost his spirit of invention.
Yes, I'm not entirely certain what your grandfather's offensive toys have to do with the current predicament.
The spirit of invention, Mr. Donaldson. The passion to create, to problem solve. And that is why I'm here today, to tell you about a brand new product we're launching simultaneously around the world from midnight tonight.
We said science! Science! We hear its song on the breeze, its breath on the wind, its fart under the covers.
How does she do it?
Well, please, don't keep us in suspense any longer.
It won't be my feature she's making up next.
Remington's Fist is proud to present Snuggle Traps. Safety and security in these dangerous times. Each box of Snuggle Traps contains 8 devices, all guaranteed to stop a Mrs. Snugglehugs in its tracks. That's enough for a small lawn or 4 window boxes. And you want to know the best thing? They're only $129.99 a box. Now that is affordable peace of mind.
We see you, Jeremy Donaldson.
Not now, honey, I'm mid-pitch. The best thing about Snuggle Traps is they're powered by next generation Flardinium batteries. So, however long the enemy lasts, these traps will outlast them.
We see you, Mr. Donaldson. You are screaming and yelling. Your friends are crying. They fear you. And then you're gone.
Oh my god, I just got chills. Did anyone else just get chills then?
I think I did.
I think it's more concerned. I think I'd be more concerned about these traps. Quickly, before we go to the break, these appear to be attractively repackaged landmines. Aren't they dangerous, say, to children?
Oh, hell yeah. These are not toys. But they're explosive fun.
Sophia Remington, Dr. Delia Lywell, thank you for joining us.
When we come back, we'll be taking a look at the situation across the country tonight.
Don't go away. We'll be back after these bandages.
Was that all right?
Oh, yes, Doctor, that was exactly what we...
She seems very nice, that young lady.
I think she'd make an interesting dinner guest.
Do you think so? I think I'd rather spend the evening shoving Delia's sacred crystals up my skeptical arsehole.
You're not going to believe this, but I've decided to come home. Listen, I'll call you back at the next break and we can talk about how I get me job back. Cheers, Alex. See you, mate.
Your employer's complete lack of responsibility. Every issue comes complete with this companion magazine, containing the impotent good wishes of your colleagues and a non-specific corporate apology.
Yeah, well, it's been a long time coming. Oh, exactly. You said it, I've said it. He must know, he's not stupid. I just don't want it getting back to him that came from us. Hey, no, Jenny. You're not backing out on me now. We're in this together. It's gonna work. We'll get him. With the cake, you're on the balloons. I've got no idea how old he is. 40, 17. Yeah, ready. Okay, coming back. In 5, 4, 3. Welcome back to the National Nightly News. I'm Megan Ruth. Now it's time to take a trip around the country to hear how the lockdown might impact the nation from some friendly faces. Joining me are respected academic Katie Brightman and author of Alan James's Kites, Alan James. Thank you for joining me.
It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me, Megan.
Thanks, Megan. It really is a pleasure, Katie. I enjoyed our little heated encounter.
I wish I could say the same.
So first off, Katie, how are you coping?
I'm holding up okay. The lockdown directive was so sudden that, like many people, I haven't been able to get home.
Oh no, what happened?
I was staying at a hotel after an international policy convention, and we had a particularly heavy night out. You know what economists are like.
Notoriously hate splitting the bill.
And I overslept, and as you can imagine, I've been here ever since. But there are certainly people much worse off than me.
Exactly. My tour has been cancelled indefinitely, and I've had to refund every single ticket, even the cheap seats.
Oh, Alan, I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah. People are being quite rude about it. They don't seem to realise I've already spent it filling the beach house with beef.
The crisis claims yet another victim.
So, this is just a reminder that my book, Alan James's Reich, is now available in paperback.
Unbelievable.
What was that?
You're unbelievable.
So, Katie, how do you think this might affect the economy? Should we be worried?
Very, Megan. Not to sound dramatic, but this could be catastrophic. Unemployment has skyrocketed, and frankly, it will be a miracle if a lot of businesses can survive this.
There you go, scaremongering again, spreading this latest liberal hoax. That's what they want. They want us quiet. They want us compliant. And they want us inside.
A hoax? How on earth can you say that, Alan?
Well, I haven't actually seen one of these supposed toys. Have you?
Well, no, but...
Did you know 3,000 people die every year from regular toys? That's a lot of people. And this is no different. You're just as likely to be hunted down by a yo-yo or a tennis racket.
He makes an excellent and persuasive point, Katie.
Don't listen to her, Katie. The press are the enemy of truth.
She's agreeing with you, Alan, you absolute shit!
Well, then I must be wrong.
Alan, are you now recanting your statement that these toys aren't dangerous?
People are saying they're just like normal toys, and that simply isn't true. Corrupt media lies.
Katie, how do you respond to Alan's claims that Mrs. Snugglehugs might be dangerous after all?
I suppose I guess I'm agreeing with him.
Thank you, Katie. I appreciate your support. A lot of folks are saying this Mrs. Snugglehug situation will all blow over, but it won't.
Yes, right, exactly. We need decisive action from the government. We need huge financial support to protect our workers and our businesses. We need to support the vulnerable, and we need
to repent. Exactly right, Katie. We brought it on ourselves with all our liberal indulgences like art, cake, and healthcare. We need to act now and begin sacrificing our firstborn, or to push a beloved family pet.
Absolutely, Alan. If we can all successfully come together as a community and perform the ritual, hopefully we will appease the great ancient. Katie, could it be any worse?
Luckily, over the past few years under Advance, they've invested heavily into health, so the system can actually bear the strain.
Is it lucky that the Llama Lords have unleashed a horde of man-made monsters on its own people to conceal the enemy within?
Will you just stop for 5 fucking seconds?
The Global Alliance of Fish People are amassing an army amassing an army to kidnap our children.
That's you. That's what you sound like. That's you. That's what you sound like.
But I don't sound like that.
Yes, you do.
You do, Alan. You do sound like that.
And that's why no one wants to be your friend.
I've got loads of friends.
No, you haven't.
I don't think you do, Alan.
Yeah, stop lying, Alan.
I'm not lying. You are.
Oh, good one. Oh, good one.
Well, I'm telling.
Alan James.
Alan, you know
Katie
what they say about
Brightman, thank you
snitches,
for
Alan?
joining
I'm
me.
getting my needle.
There, from two of the territory's leading minds. Any moment now, I'll be heading over to Jeremy, who is going to be bringing us an up-to-the-minute report of the status of the nation. Over to you, Jeremy.
Thank you for what I'm sure was a reasonable debate which really contributed to the national conversation. Next, out on the streets, someone who's always doing exactly that. It's Patrick Bannon. Are you there, Patrick?
Hello, Jeremy. Yes, hello, I'm here. I'm here live. Apologies for the quality of the broadcast today. Couldn't find any cameramen or women brave enough to come and join me, so I'm out here on my own.
Right, and can you tell us what it's like out there?
Yep, I can. It's as you can see behind me, the streets are currently completely deserted. So my question, Jeremy, is just how long? I mean, could there be danger lurking just around the corner, waiting to end the fledgling career of this young, promising journalist before his full potential is even realised? Will he die, underappreciated by management, and frankly, if you ask me, very, very much underpaid?
I don't think there's any danger of that, Patrick. What's that on your jacket there?
Oh, that's actually a sponge. What I've done here is made a snuggle-proof jacket, Jeremy. The network didn't bother sending me any PPE, so I've been forced to improvise. In fact, showing the sort of resourcefulness that would make me an ideal candidate for, I don't know, for example, an anchor position starting whenever they'd like.
From your point of view, Patrick, just how safe are our streets?
Not safe at all, Jeremy, not safe at all. I'd recommend people staying inside, following government advice, and not putting themselves at any risk at all. Unless, of course, like me, it's for groundbreaking journalism reasons.
Mm-hmm. And just where are you, Patrick?
I'm in the street, on the street.
Which street?
I think I'm struggling to hear you, actually, Jeremy, there.
Which street? Which street are you on?
Oh, which street am I on? Oh, God. I'm just looking for a sign. I'm on Bannon Avenue.
Bannon Avenue?
Yep.
Bannon Avenue.
Yeah, no, I can hear you fine. Yep, I'm on Bannon Avenue on the sign, it says there.
Like Patrick Bannon?
Oh, yeah, that is like, that's strange, that's a weird sign. I don't know what's going on there.
Where are you really?
I'm on Bannon. Alright, fine, I'm not on Bannon Avenue, I'm at home, to be honest. Alright, well, I'm in my bathroom technically, but you know, I couldn't face it, to be honest, mate. It's, you know, it's terrible out there, I don't want to go outside, they're everywhere. I'm sorry for lying.
We don't expect any less of you, Patrick.
You hear that sound? What the hell's that?
I can, yes. I'm no expert, Patrick, but it sounds unmistakably like a tiny fist tapping on your door there.
Oh, fuck, it does. Oh, fuck, Jeremy, shit, no! Oh, bollocks.
Perhaps there's a small queue of tiny fists, each wielding a different gendered household implement, ready to bash in the heads of lying little roving reporters.
But you're lying, aren't you? Oh, shit, fucking, listen to me, you bastards! If you're out there, just to piss off, you little fucking snuggle fuck! I'm too talented to die! Oh, too talented! What the fucking hell? Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Oh, God.
Don't worry, Patrick. I'd say you've got a few seconds before they break their way in there and finish you off. What do you see, Patrick?
I see only the devil. I see only Satan. Oh, God, no. They're coming to this. They're coming after. No, you fucking little shit.
Thank you, Patrick, for that report, showing the nation, and more importantly, management, just where you belong. It's time for another break, but when we come back, we'll be hoping to take your mind off the world for a little while, and who knows, maybe even bring you a few smiles. Join us after this. You're damn right. Yeah, I had them delivered. Yes, to Bannon Avenue.
Down, worse, chef's down and we're out of rum. Not sure I'm gonna make it piece of my life away, mate. Still, at least I'm outdoors, eh?
With Neil appeal. As the astronaut once said to me, I had a mission. Sometimes you're the alien, and sometimes you're the cow.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to. I don't have to. No, you're being a child. I'm not. I'm not.
A little more enjoyable.
No? No. Oh, 5, 4, 3. Welcome back to the National Nightly. Well, welcome back anyway. We know isolation isn't easy, so finally tonight we have something a bit different for you. Even though some people felt it's not our job to entertain the public with absolute nonsense, other, more important people overruled those people. So it's time to find out who will National Nightly win and who will National Nightly lose. So, how do we play? Well, Tommy Harris. Hello, Tommy.
All right, Johnny. It's good to see ya.
And how are you finding the lockdown, Tommy?
What do you mean lockdown?
The enforced isolation of everyone in the country.
Ah, yeah, I think I heard about that actually, yeah.
You're in bed, Tommy?
Yeah, you called during nap time, so...
Of course, that's my fault. So, why don't you tell us how the game is played?
Well, it's pretty simple, Jeremy, you sausage. I'm going to ask contestants from around the territory 3 questions about what else, yours truly. And those people are going to get a chance to win a very special prize.
And what are they playing for, Tommy?
Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. Jeremy.
Oh.
Jeremy. Thank you. This.
Is that... What is that?
It's my athletic support, Jeremy.
Oh.
But I've signed it, so...
Oh, well then, what a fantastic prize.
Have we got anybody waiting to win this once-in-a-lifetime prize, Jimmy?
I believe we have Angie on the line. How do you feel about winning this man's old pants, Angie?
I've never been so excited, Jeremy. And can I just say, I love you, both of you.
Well, you've said it now, haven't you?
Oh, Angie, I love you. In a way. Tell us about yourself, Angie.
Well, what can I say? My name is Angie. Always has been. I'm a human woman, and my dental hygiene has been described as acceptable.
Brilliant! Right, well, shall we get this shambles underway?
Absolutely, John. Can I get 30 seconds on the clock, please?
We haven't got a clock.
Yeah, I did ask for a clock. So,
well, why don't you start, and I'll stop you when it inevitably becomes unbearable to watch.
I love it. All right, here we go. Time starts now. Question 1. When is my birthday?
The 13th of August at 7:19 a.m.
That is absolutely correct. Question 2. What? I said, what is my favourite colour?
Crushed praline 4.
Correct, the colour of my nipples. And finally, Angie dear, what is my star sign?
That's a trick question. You were born outside of the human understanding of the cosmos.
Unbelievable, that is correct. Stop the clock.
Wow, that really was tough to watch. How did you do, Tommy?
Well, Angie, my love, you've got every single question right. Which of course
She's turned something off the plug, Alex.
Absolutely nothing. Thanks for playing, Angie. Do we have another contestant on the line, Jelly Bean?
We do indeed. We should have Sonia Artleach. Are you there, Sonia?
Of course I am, Jamie, darling.
Thank you for being here, Sonia.
Oh, there you are, Tommy. Mwah.
Let me guess, you work in theatre, don't you?
Is it that obvious? What gave it away? Was it the glamour or poise?
It certainly wasn't your inherent sense of humility.
Tell us about yourself, Sonia.
Oh, well, if you must play this game. I am a theatrical agent. I represent the likes of Rudy Beefman, Samuel Coffee Cup, and Jodie Carpetburn, amongst others.
And how's the lockdown affected you, Sonia?
Well, they may have closed the theatres, shut the studios, and boarded the cinemas, but they won't get me that easily.
How are you managing without any work?
Due to a savvy clause in all of my artist contracts, I am able to claim my 15% from their unemployment benefit.
Wow, that certainly is sharp.
Standard stuff, standard stuff.
And can I ask, where are you speaking to us from?
Well, I work from home, you know, to keep costs down.
And who's this?
Oh, well, you know, when they gave the order, I was actually mid-meeting with a client, so we've been isolated together.
No fucking way!
What the fucking fuck?
Is that Tommy Harris? I'm a huge fan. Can I just tell you how bloody brilliant you are?
Actually, Jeff, we're about to play a game, aren't we, Tommy?
We've got time, we've got time.
Well, if it's not too bold, I think I am in love with you, Mr. Harris.
No, it's not too bold. That's all right, don't worry.
Hey, I'd love to show you some of my stuff. I've been working on some new shit.
Well, at least you're already aware.
During lockdown, we've been workshopping some of Jeff's ideas for much younger children, haven't we?
People still let you near their children, do they?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. I've been developing some shows for younger children.
Well, we'd love to see it, wouldn't we, Gerbil?
Absolutely dying to.
Right, so, what do kids love?
Timely child support payments from their absent fathers.
Shallow and overproduced musical numbers?
That's right. Animals! So, I'm trying to address the things that kids need to know, but through a medium that they'll understand. Do you understand?
I think, yes. I think so, yes.
Jeff's one of my best clients, aren't you?
I am, yeah. So, the first one we've been working on is called The King of the Jungle's Mortgage Repayments. It's about a lion who's having problems with his interest rates.
I see. Does he have a broker?
He does, yes. He's a porcupine. How did you know that?
Well, your work is universal, darling. It speaks to people.
I'm going to say something to you, mate. I think you're onto something here.
Oh, the bear,
Oh,
you
yes, right. This one is much better. So, this one tells the tale of Mr. Bear. Now, Mr. Bear is a very sad bear, because all of the other bears don't think that he'll amount to much, and they tell him that his plays are lazy and derivative.
Well, I think you're onto something there.
Now, Mr. Bear is a tragic figure. Picture this. He's at his lowest ebb. The trees are closing in. He can't even face his salmon, can he? But then he meets someone that will change his life forever.
This is fucking gripping.
That's right. He meets a wise old octopus who takes him under his wing and says, "No, Mr. Bear, don't be sad. You're not like all the other bears. You have this ambition and these dreams."
Such fucking dreams.
I think I love you, Jeff.
And what you need to do, Mr. Bear, says the octopus, probably doing an 8-armed gesture or something.
What you need to do to find happiness in this crazy old forest is you need to set yourself more realistic goals. It's called Mr. Bear Lowers His Expectations.
Wow, you really have taken yourself to new depths. And what do you want children to take away from this?
Oh, fuck shit, fuck.
What?
I said a more realistic worldview.
Are you all right, Jamboree?
It's Jeffrey. My name is Jeffrey Donington.
No, stop. How does it end? We need to know how it ends.
Well, all the animals learn a thing or two about inevitable mediocrity.
Yeah, and Mr. Bear settles down near to his parents' cave, stops trying to make his band happen, and he goes into bear telemarketing.
Becomes a bear maths teacher.
Oh, and we end... we end on a big big musical number. Oh, there's dancing. It's very repetitive, so it's catchy but not too challenging. Well, if you like, I could go and get my boombox.
Yeah, you know, I might be able to... Hang on, can we get Angie back?
Why not? The more the merrier, as they say at orgies.
Right, I'll just fill then, shall I? Coming up in a moment, it's the world premiere that nobody saw coming.
Lights!
Or wanted. At all.
Right.
I can only apologise in advance for what we're all about to endure.
You turn this shitting thing... Down on Dangly Doodle Farm, like wise old Mr. Octopus with way too many arms. There's Mr. Pig and Mr. Cow, they're always in good moods, but that's 'cause they don't know they'll soon be sliced up into food. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your hopes go to turn into despair. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your dreams go to die. Mr. Raccoon wants to go to the moon. He'll end up as a bus driver soon. Mr. Porcupine thinks he'll read the news at 9. He'll end up as a janitor who stinks of turpentine. Mr. Tiny Mouse thought he'd own a massive house, ended up in a bedsit where he can't control the louse. Mr. Horse thought he'd go into professional sports, now he's an alcoholic and he's on his third divorce. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's the place your life becomes an endless questionnaire. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your hopes go to die. Lower your expectations. Maybe you could get a job in telecommunications. No matter how you try, you'll never reach the League of Nations. The best you'll get is middle rank in trading operations. So lower your expectations. You'll never win an Oscar, so there's no congratulations. The future that is coming will not meet specifications, and no amount of visualizations will save you from your own deterioration. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's a tramp who thought he'd be a multi-millionaire. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where self-esteem goes to die. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's the disappointment that is waiting everywhere. Mr. Bear, what's that over there? That's where your schemes go to die. That's where your dreams go to die. That's where dreams go to die.
Well, I'm sure we'll all still be singing that tomorrow morning. That's it from us for tonight. Many thanks to all our guests. I look forward to seeing them all again. Eventually. But before we go, Alex, I wondered if I might have a word. You see, I've had my eye on you, friend, and I've got to say I'm not liking what I'm seeing. You keep letting me down, chum. Playing it safe. Making the dull, boring choices, failing to assert yourself. No one likes a pushover, Alex. You know that. And frankly, chum, you're acting like a bit of a wimp.
Alex, will you give away your passport so my super rich sibling can abandon us all? Sure. Here it is.
Pathetic. Can I have the money we need for food so I can go around the continent on a jolly?
Sure, Susie.
We can always eat your grandma when we run out of food. Wouldn't it have felt better to take charge? Aren't you tempted to just lay down the law? You know what's hot, Alex? Other than me, obviously. Confidence. Power. Control. We're all drawn to it like rats to the piper.
Don't you care where your son goes at night? You will when you find out. Look, far be it from me to try and lead you down the dark pathway, although sort of is my whole raison d'etre. But imagine, just for a moment, that none of this was real. It was just some stupid game where you could just do it all over again if it all went wrong. Imagine if Sam and Charlie and Susie were just characters. Wow. Think of all the fun you could have. Just being bad, you know. For the hell of it. My name's Megan Wolf. Have an evil night. Ugh. Jen, I'm just gonna go smoking. Okay, can you get Bozeman on the phone? Babe, I don't care if this is a dream, a bad trip, or a shock-induced coma. I did not sign up to be dressed like a slag, doshing out wristies for a 20. All right, I'm a professional news anchor, not a fucking bogan. It's bad enough that he makes me do that unconvincing accent the whole time. I mean, look at this. My skirt's so short you can see my jute.
Alex, why don't you wake up, You fucking perv.
Wake up, Alex, wake up! Wake up! Wake up, Alex! Alex! Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!
you.